Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. You're going to have a great time in the next few minutes hearing from really good strategies from some CEOs and entrepreneurs in Arkansas on the Shrimp Tank, where we teach you how to go from a shrimp to a shark in the business world. Hey everyone, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Arkansas Shrimp Tank. I'm your host, Rich Jensen, along with my co-host, David Sims, and our special guest, a repeat guest this week.
Second swim.
That's right. Brent Metters, a Domino's franchisee extraordinaire, probably the top one in the whole country. Hey, each week on the post-show wrap-up, we want to bring you some of the highlights of our conversations with some of the brightest and best CEOs and business owners, entrepreneurs in Arkansas, and even sometimes outside of Arkansas. They come in to be on the Shrimp Tank. So we just completed a great show with Brent all around things about culture and company culture and learned some fascinating things. You'll definitely want to go and listen to the entire podcast. I think about minute 20, there was a couple of good laughs and some really good information. So be sure you do that. So
real good. Yeah, it was all focused on a point in time in 2011 where you initiated a cultural change in your company. And you talk on the podcast about how that had a profound impact upon the return on investment in that change has been profound, and you talk about that.
I did find out that the key to success is actually wearing a light blue plaid shirt, so I'm obviously not very successful.
That's right. Yeah, it's just kind of we didn't even talk about it. It just happened.
Great minds think alike.
But so one of the things I think Gordon asked you this question, our producer, about a piece of advice you would give to someone starting out a business, who wants to build a franchise, own a number of franchises, and you talked about vision. Share with our viewers what you shared about that piece of advice you would give to somebody who wanted to do that.
I think it's paramount that before anyone even begins to open a business, way before, to develop a vision and know what your culture should look like before you ever open the doors, before you ever hire a single person. You should know what that culture is going to look like in your mind, and your vision should be so resolute in your mind that you can communicate that with everybody you talk to, everybody you hire, everybody you engage with and do business with. So I think it's paramount that vision be cast way before the business opens.
That's good. That was really good.
In fact, Brent's been so successful that he was asked to come and speak to the national meeting of all the franchise owners by the main corporation. And we asked him, hey, give us some shrimp cocktails, some little tidbits that would be really good and helpful. And he actually had one that's a 6 steps. So we got 6 shrimp in this cocktail thing.
It was a heck of a cocktail. You got to listen to the podcast.
Explain this. You won't be able to see it, but explain very briefly, what went about how to lead complex change is what the title of this talk was.
Well, this is all about changing the culture of our company and to add in an ingredient that I felt was missing from our business, which was the hospitality component. So this 6-step process starts with making the case for change. So it's making certain that everybody in your company understands this is the reason why we need to make a change. Here's the numbers, here's the data, here's the feedback, and this is why we need to make that change. And then we move from there to casting that vision. Here's the vision of what our company will look like after we make this change. And we went through a bunch of stuff with them and made sure they clearly understood that, and went to every single store, talked to every single team member, and made sure they understood what the vision is. We even had them sign a pledge that they understand the vision and that they're all in. That's our mantra, I'm all in. Then we gave them additional skills to accomplish these things with our training program. We added in an extra day of training, which was all about hospitality, but we made it the first day because we wanted them to understand that that's our priority. Then we went on to incentives. People want to know what's in it for me. Well, we wanted to clearly show them what was in it for them. And we had a lot of contests. We had we had an online rewards platform in which people could go and choose certain rewards when they were creating great experiences for our friends, that we call them, the consumers. But the biggest incentive is our drivers' tips went through the roof because they were being nice.
Exactly.
It's amazing how that happens. And then people are starting to tip the people in the stores too.
Right.
And so that really worked out well.
That brings buy-in real fast.
Yeah.
We
a great
gave them-
story on the podcast about a guy who said, "This is cheesy." He said, "Okay, try it out." And he goes, "Wow, this is cheesy. This is really
First time
good."
he did, he got a $10 tip.
We gave them the resources they need to be successful doing this program. We had all kinds of print done, and it would take forever to go through all of it, but they had every resource and every tool that they needed to be successful.
Resource is the fifth shrimp, right?
That
on the
was the
cocktail.
fifth, yep. And then the action plan. And we made sure, the key point there is, we had it in print, and we made sure that we communicated it constantly. Every meeting, every conference call, every time we communicated, we talked about this plan, this action plan.
One
to
of
make
my
sure
favorite
everybody
Russian
understood it.
proverbs. Repetition is the mother of learning. Did you know that repetition is the mother of learning?
Say it a third time, David. You usually do.
I usually did.
The other old was practice makes perfect, but that's not true. Practice makes permanent,
Right.
not perfect.
Yeah,
No,
perfect
good, that's
practice
good.
makes perfect.
So, we did all that, and then we had established the ways that we would measure our success in this cultural shift before we ever started. And so we tracked it throughout and continue to do so today.
It's a heck of a shrimp cocktail. Great podcast. You got to listen to it. That's for sure.
Did you want to ask me about the top hat?
Oh
or-
yeah, I don't know. You think we might be pressing this one? Well,
All right.
I think we might have him back on for a top hat.
Okay.
show. Top talent.
One of the things that was really good, we asked him, kind of how do you retain and reward key employees? And we'll want to talk about that next time.
Yeah.
But the key phrase there was recognition is
Yeah.
every bit as or more important than
And
the
rewards.
actual reward.
And you got some great people on your team. So it sounds like. So I think we will have it back for a third time. All about top hat.
All
Well,
right.
Brent, we want to
Top
thank
talent.
you again so much for coming on the show again. Second swim in the tank here. Again, people really need to know if you're looking for an entry level job that might lead to something like a franchise owner, they might want to come and work with Brent at one of his franchises. So how would they go about doing that?
Apply at jobs.dominos.com or email me directly at brent.metters@m&gpizza.com.
Excellent.
And on the podcast at the end, he talked about his incentive program, and it's pretty wild. He got 100% match. And of course, Rich figured out, oh, well, I'm going to get my whole paycheck in there. And he goes, oh, no, wait, there's a cap on it, But 100% match is pretty
Can I say,
sweet.
you say 100% match to a financial guy, he's going to figure out the angle.
But you ought to listen to that, because not only that, if you stay in it and go with that program, there's anher match, a double match that comes on top of that. So you need to listen to it. It could be a huge
All right.
opportunity
So
for
I
you.
know we're long-winded on this video. We're not usually so long-winded. So
It's just good stuff.
yeah, be sure to go and listen to the entire podcast at arkansas.shrimptankpodcast.com. If you want to catch every podcast in the future and even going back, go to download it all on iTunes and you won't miss a single episode. Until next week, stay safe, and remember, in the business world, to become a shark, we all start out as shrimp.